Hello and welcome to Factorialize a Number from Free Code Camp. In this problem, we're going to factorialize a number, which is just we're going to take a number input, and we're going to multiply that number times every number down to 1 by it, and then return that number. This one is mainly dealing with loops and modifying a number. So there's a few different ways we can do it. I always set my problems up like this, where I say, hey, here's my output at the beginning, and I'm going to return that output, and it always just kind of keeps my mind straight. If there's an option to short circuit something, as in this case, where if we get the factorial of 0, the answer is just 1, we're going to simply return that right away. So in this case, I'm just going to say if num is equal to 0, I'm just immediately going to return the output, which I've set to 1 here because I'm going to later just multiply output by the number and then work my way back down. And it's not going to affect anything because it's 1, and anything multiplied by 1 is obviously itself. So if you haven't figured that part out yet, maybe this isn't where you're supposed to be. But who am I to judge? So let's take a look at 3 different options here. 2 are really good. 1 is not so good, but I want to talk about it just because so let's talk about the first option here. The first one is we can just do for let I equal 1 and I is less than or equal to num, and we will do I plus plus. So this way we're going to work our way up to number, but in this case what we're going to do is each time we do this loop, we're going to say output is times equals to I, and then it's going to run through and return the output. Our other option is to use a recursive function, which is going to say, hey, we're going to just keep calling this function over and over again. So what we have to do is have 2 cases. One was the base case where, hey, we're not going to call this function again, or the time when we call that function again, the recursive part. So what we're going to do is just say if the number is equal to 1, we're just going to return we just return output again in this case. So hold on a minute. Let's just take that and do this here. And that gets us out of that. And then what we can do is just say return number times, check this out, we're going to call Factorialize, and we're going to do number minus 1. And I'll get rid of this return output, right? Because that's going to happen up here. So what happens is we do return num times Factorialize num minus 1, and we're going to work our way down through the numbers, and eventually we're going to get to 1 and just return the output instead of calling the function again. It's going to work its way back up and it'll return the right answers. And run the tests. That works, and you'll just have to take my word because it doesn't show it here, but that does work. That's one of the options there. And then another this is a pretty bad option, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to do let nums equals this blank array, and now we're going to fill this array for let I equals 1, I is less than or equal to num, I plus plus, and then we're just going to do nums.push I, or what you can do is you can actually do nums equals nums, and then include I here. This should work just nicely. I like this because I think this is really clear. You don't have to do it that way. You can do it either way. Either one would work. And then what we're going to do instead is we'll do return nums.reduce. And then this takes an accumulator and the current value of the array that you're in. And we'll push that, and we'll say accumulator times the current, and then that will also return the right answer. So run that, and there's our right answer again. So there's 3 different ways to solve this problem. Let me know which one you liked in the comments below, and if you learned something new, that's fantastic. Let me know that too. Thanks very much. Have a great day. Bye.